Hi everyone, I'm Liz and welcome back to Power to the Pod. So today I want to talk about SNAP funding and what we can do. As many of you know, November 1st, 2025 marked the first time in US history that SNAP funding and food assistance has been completely cut off for the American people. So who's benefiting from these SNAP benefits? And here's a breakdown before we get into a deep dive of what's actually happening. So about 39% of SNAP beneficiaries are children who legally can't work. 10% are non-elderly adults with disabilities who generally can't work or have very limited capacity. About 19% are seniors 60 years and older, many of whom are retired, on fixed incomes, or medically unable to work. That means roughly half, around 50 to 55% of SNAP recipients, are people who can't reasonably work. The remaining share, mostly working-age adults without disabilities, includes low-wage workers whose jobs don't pay enough to cover food and rent, people between jobs or in unstable employment, such as seasonal, part-time, or caregiving situations. So when politicians say people just need to get jobs, they're ignoring that most people either can't or already do work if they're able to. So let's do a quick rundown of food being used as a political weapon in the US. During the 1930s, after the Great Depression, pilot food stamp programs were created to fight hunger from the Great Depression and help farmers sell surplus crops. SNAP was officially created in 1964 under President Lyndon B. Johnson's Food Stamp Act, which was part of the War on Poverty. Lawmakers have used funding cuts, eligibility rules, and shutdowns to push agendas. Reagan cut billions from food aid in the 80s. Clinton's 1996 welfare reform kicked off stricter rules, especially for childless adults. Trump tried tightening work requirements in 2019, which was blocked in court. But this current shutdown is the first time SNAP has actually been stopped nationwide, as in cut off completely. The USDA said no November benefits would be issued unless the shutdown ends. There is a $5 to $6 billion contingency fund for SNAP, and it's been used before in previous shutdowns, specifically the 2018-2019 Trump shutdown where they tapped into the contingency funds to keep the benefits flowing. But the USDA now says that that fund is only for disasters, not for funding lapses, so it's not being tapped this time. 42 million Americans about to starve is not enough of an emergency. Meanwhile, states are declaring food emergencies as benefits stop and food banks are bracing for a major surge. At the same time, 2 judges ordered the administration to keep paying SNAP using emergency funds, but the Trump administration says it doesn't have the legal authority to do so. On Friday, Trump tweeted that the administration would be appealing the ruling while attending a Great Gatsby-themed party at Mar-a-Lago. It looks like a luxury celebration while millions face potential hunger. So why should you care, even if you're not on SNAP? Well, even if you're not on SNAP, this still affects you. SNAP dollars don't just disappear. They go straight into local grocery stores, farmers markets, and corner shops. Every $1 in SNAP benefits creates about $150 to $180 in economic activity. So when those benefits stop, stores lose sales, workers lose hours, and local economies take a hit. So yes, it's not just their problem, it's an all of us problem. Also, what about basic human empathy? I saw someone post on Facebook the other day, 2 Thessalonians 3:10, if anyone is unwilling to work, let them not eat. Are you serious right now? Are you actually using a Bible verse to justify SNAP funding lapses and why people should be starving? That verse was about people who were choosing not to work. It doesn't apply to kids, seniors, disabled people, or anyone who literally can't make ends meet today, including millions of low-wage workers. Also, let's talk about the corporations. Many corporations like Walmart, Amazon, Target pay their people minimum wage and actually rely on employees using SNAP to supplement their income. So cutting benefits doesn't punish laziness, it punishes survival. So I suggest you go back and sit down, read your Bible again, and let the actual meaning sink in instead of what you want it to mean. All right, so rant over. Took a deep breath. Why does this matter? Well, this shutdown marks the first time in US history that food assistance has been cut off completely. Millions of families are losing food access right now as I post this. It's not just politics, it's groceries, medicines, school lunches, and survival. So it's been really nice to see communities come together, holding food drives, donation drives for clothing as well, since it's about to be winter, volunteering their time, donating food, donating money, donating services, volunteering to drive people to and from places if they can't get there. It's just been really nice to see us come together and realizing that we ultimately have way more in common with each other than we think. Also, it's important to note that a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck, so they're one firing away from also being SNAP beneficiaries. So let's not be so quick to judge people on SNAP because you never know when that could be you or when that could be somebody you love. So what do we do about this? How can we help? Well, I'd suggest, first of all, continue donating to your local food banks, continue volunteering if you have the time. It's going to be so important, especially during this month where they're still trying to figure out what's going to happen and how much they can actually push the administration to release these funds. Another way to help would be to contact your representatives. I posted a short yesterday on Instagram and on YouTube about how to contact your reps in 5 minutes. There's a 5calls.org website and the 5calls app, and it's so easy. All you have to do is press the number on there for your representative, and they even have scripts for you to use. So all you have to do is read them and leave your voicemail, or if you speak to a live person, again, you read the same script. So make your voice heard. Additionally, I think it's time to start writing legislation that protects food security from being weaponized. Something that keeps SNAP, WIC, and school meals running no matter who's in power or how bad a shutdown gets. Wouldn't every state representative and senator want to make sure that nobody goes hungry? So let's push for it. Anybody who starts this gets my full support. Hunger and starving people just to make a point should never be used as a political ploy, no matter who the president is, no matter which side you're on, and it should be seen as a crime. Let's be better and let's do better. All right, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. And thank you so much to everybody who's out there volunteering, donating, and doing all of the work that's actually helping your local communities. And also putting pressure on your state representatives and senators is definitely going to be something that we should continue doing even after the SNAP funding is reinstated. Fingers crossed it happens sooner rather than later. And remember to keep your head up because these times are very hard, even if you're not somebody who's actually in need at the moment. But it's very hard for a lot of us to watch and not be able to do anything. So let's try to take some of that action into our own hands and try to make a difference where we can in our local communities. It's going to take all of us in order to get through this. And the more we realize that we are all more similar than different is when we're actually going to be able to affect a lot more change. Thanks for listening to Power to the Pod. I'm Liz. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Follow us on Instagram at Power to the Pod Official and at Millennial Activist, and subscribe on your favorite platform so you never miss a deep dive into the issues that shape our world. And remember, our votes matter and our collective action can make a difference. So keep paying attention, keep speaking up, and together we can protect the freedoms and resources that matter most. Until next time.